Hey, Sheila. Okay, should be able to see us in a minute. Ooh, Blog Talk Radio.
My coffee.
For the next 2 fun-filled hours, get ready to learn something new, be inspired, enlightened, spooked.
You didn't lock that door, right? I'll check it. Right after this, I'll check it. You sit.
And now, your host of Awakening the Unknown. So please welcome
Susan Swanbeck.
Michelle Sullivan. Hi, guys. It's Thursday. One of my favoriteest days of the week.
Yeah, you know, we were going to do like a history, and I rescheduled it for this week, like a history of part of the Halloween, but we decided to kind of revamp that as well. So
Yes.
we're going to do, or should I say, Michelle is going to do a dramatic reading.
Yes. I figured,
Yeah.
you know, I'm the love doctor, right? So I'm the quintessential love doctor, right? So what is the most quintessential love story of all time? And that is William
Romeo
Shakespeare's-
and Juliet.
That's right, Romeo and Juliet, guys.
Yes.
So I figured we'd do a little bit of adult storytelling today. And because, I mean, really, when was the last time you've read Romeo and Juliet?
Never.
Never, right?
I avoid it at
You
all
avoid it
costs.
because of the Shakespearean talk, right? The way that the language flows. It's hard to
It's
read.
just not my thing. I have to go make sure the door's
Yes.
unlocked. I will be right back. It's one of those
But
days.
it is
Is that my...
of our history
Hold on.
and all
Yes,
the
it
all the
is.
years. All the years.
Oh, it's Brenda. Hello, Brenda.
Hello, Brenda. So it is the love story of all time. This is the most well-known love story, and not many people have had the opportunity to actually hear the story of Romeo and Juliet. So I figured, why not do a little bit of adulting today, and we are going to have adult story time today. Ooh, Brenda's read it. How many of you guys have read Romeo and Juliet? Brenda says she's read it. I haven't. Sue hasn't read it. I've written it. Yeah, I've written it. All right. I read it. All right. And it's still a good story. It's still the story of a great love. You know, a love against all odds. And the way Shakespeare breaks it down, it's actually. Thank you. It's actually in an actual play format. The book I have here is the original. It's in the play format. So the first thing I'm going to do before we get into the reading is I'm going to tell you guys who the main characters are. So, and when we're adulting and I'm reading you the adult story,
I don't want to adult.
you know who is who, right?
I still won't remember.
Well, I'm gonna try to make it a little bit as easy as I possibly can. But you know who Romeo is, right?
Yeah, some dude.
So Romeo was some dude.
Yeah,
But
some dude.
This is like,
Oh, I know who he was. He was the pansy in tights, right?
he was one of the pansies in tights. Yes.
Pansy in tights.
He was
Okay.
the main character.
He was the main pansy in tights.
Yes, because he's a Montague.
Oh, a
And the
Montague.
Yes, and Juliet's side are Capulets. Yes, it is a tragic love story.
I'm sorry, I can't take this seriously. It's not a horror movie.
But it kind of is. It kind of is. Though.
So there's no blood and guts.
There's blood and guts at the end of all this.
So you have to go through all the ridiculous romance stuff to get to blood and guts.
But there is sword fighting and stabbing and murdering and death and all this like crazy stuff that just makes their situation more and more complicated.
Who for art thou, Romeo?
For thou is Susan of the Swanbecks. I am Michelle of the Sullivans.
Oh my God.
But it's one family versus another family. And
So this is the part where I sit here and eat my popcorn?
you can definitely stay here and eat your popcorn, okay? So the most important thing you guys want to remember when I'm reading you the story is that Romeo's side is the Montagues. Juliet's side is the Capulets. And that's what the basis of
And
the
what the
story is.
heck does that mean?
Their family doesn't like the other person, and the other family doesn't like the other person.
Yeah, but why why Montagues and Capulets?
Well, they have decades long like fighting and
Okay,
arguing.
but
and
doesn't
killing.
a Capulet sound close to a capsule?
It could be. Maybe that's where they got maybe that's where they got it. Who knows? They might have gotten it that way.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
have
I mean?
no idea, but my filters were gone yesterday, and I think it has something to do with these guys.
What? Yeah, it could be something to do with that.
I like my discount candy. What can I say?
Ay. So in this story that I'm going to tell you, if you guys have never ever heard the story of Romeo and Juliet and actually heard it or read it yourself, it basically breaks down to the tragic love story of two young souls, and it is a tragic love story because if it was nowadays, they would have probably eloped to Las Vegas, got married at an Elvis Presley chapel, went to eat at the buffet, and won some money at the casino. Okay? But back in the day, there was no such thing. There was no such thing. There wasn't even a doubt. How can you dare question what your family chooses for you? It was very much based on what their family wanted for themselves and not what they wanted for themselves. So that's another little tragic piece that kind of goes throughout the story. And it's such deep vengeance between the two families that even cousins fight. Cousins of cousins fight. Servants fight with the other servants. There's two friars even. One is the Capulet side, one is the Montague side. I mean, it's all about the choosing of the sides and the two young loves in the middle. I know.
I'm awake. I'm awake.
All right, let me read you guys the prologue.
The what?
The prologue, which is the setting up of the story before the story actually begins. Okay, so we're
I
going to
think
do a little
Michelle
bit.
is better at being the punk than I am.
No, you're doing good. Keep doing. You're doing good. Okay, so Brenda wrote the William Shakespeare's tragedy, the tragedy of Romeo and Juliet, the son of Lord Montague and his wife Lady Montague. He secretly loves and marries Juliet, a member of the rival house of Capulet, through a priest named Friar Lawrence. Right. Lawrence is the actual Capulet friar. Forced into exile, guys. But in the end, Romeo and Juliet's cousin ends up in a duel, and Romeo ends up having to commit suicide. And little did he know, Juliet's plan was to make it look like it was a suicide on her part, and then wake up. So the hope was she could forever be with her love.
Well, that's just dumb.
I'm sorry. Dumb.
Suicide is so dumb.
It was dumb. It is dumb. And even in the story, that's how tragic. Like, that's the life that people led, though. They lived by the sword. They lived by rivals.
Okay.
They lived by vengeance.
Okay.
And revenge.
I get living and dying by the sword.
Yeah.
What I don't get is why would you pretend to take poison, not tell your boyfriend so he kills himself, so then you turn around and re-kill yourself.
Yeah.
That part I don't get.
It's because you didn't get to hear the story going up to that whole point.
No, I did. It bored me.
It bored you.
I got thrown out of class. I kept arguing with the boy. No, needless to say, never finished it.
Well, that's great because I want you to talk to me about these things I'm going to be saying. Stop me at any time, guys. I want us to discuss this whole thing because we do actually take love for granted nowadays. We think that we can literally find love at every corner. If we can't find it in every corner, we'll find it online. We'll find it in magazines. We'll find it on chat rooms. We'll go speed dating. We'll do all kinds of crazy shit for love.
I love crystals.
See? And her love for crystals. But even that, right, Sue? Crystals are cutthroat. One house of crystals goes against the other house of the crystals, and they try to fight for your honor to get who you are going to be with.
Nobody.
Right?
I'm a widow and I'm staying that way.
No, the crystal people.
The crystal people.
Aren't they always trying to get you? One crystal person is always trying to hook you away from another crystal person. That crystal person is trying to take you away from that other crystal person.
That's just business.
Believe it or not, yeah. Because crystals are really that cutthroat, guys. Mm-hmm. And we have to keep it secret that we're not working with the other house of crystals, because if they find out we're working with them, they won't work with us. because of that
I work
whole-
with many
Yes, we do, but they don't know that.
people.
They're in China. They don't know these things. I don't think there's William Shakespeare in China, by the way. I don't know. But see, I'm going to read the prologue first, and I want to see what you guys have to think about this. Now, the prologue is going to kind of give
Wait,
you...
you have to read it exactly as the book says.
I will read it exactly as the book says.
And I will try to keep my commentary to the end.
You can give me the commentary. I want the commentary.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of education in this whole love story.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
So the prologue. Okay? Then talk to me. Okay? This is what they consider the chorus, which is a group of people saying this. Okay? And this is the setup for the whole story.
Okay.
Okay? Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean.
Okay. So are they writing a poem or a story?
This is a story in a poem form.
I'm sorry. Been there, done that. I'm a widow. I don't even think of love. So, yeah.
Oh, and think about this part, though. It says, from forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Never mind.
Tell me.
Nope. I'm getting too close to what I say in school.
Tell me, though, because I'm going to keep reading it. I want you to tell me.
What
Whose misadventured, piteous overthrows do with their death bury their parents' strife?
Yeah, the wording in this book just kind of drives me nuts.
I know, but does it make sense?
No.
The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which, but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage.
I don't think I could ever live in that time.
Never.
Because I'd be correcting everybody into saying, what the hell did you just say? Because I'm not getting a word of this.
They understood this crap, though, right? The which, if you with patient ears attend.
There's a witch involved?
Oh, there's a witch.
Okay.
What here shall miss our toil, so strive to mend.
What?
Yes. So I'm going to tell you what it's saying.
Could ya?
It's saying, right, pretty much it's saying the parents were stupid, that they should have thought about what their kids wanted with their lives. They should have respected what the kids wanted. And due to them not respecting what was the best decision for the kids, which was, in their eyes, was love,
Okay.
they both lost their children.
Okay, so here's my question. Why didn't they just say that?
Because they couldn't talk back to their parents.
No.
That was the day and age.
Why didn't they just word it that way?
Because in that time in an era, this is how they got stories out.
Okay, but it's 2020.
It is.
You think
2020.
somebody could rewrite it for the modern era? Come on.
No, because it makes it more tragic, I think. I think it makes more sadness happen, you know? Let's get into Act 1, guys. But
I didn't
before
even
that-
follow the prelogue.
That was the prologue, believe it or not. Okay, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean.
What?
There's murders. They murdered each other's family members for the sake of their love.
Michelle is reading Romeo and Juliet while I protest.
She's doth protest my William Shakespeare foes. Yes.
I
From
can
which our
protest.
toll shall strive to mend.
I can protest.
I love discussing books with her.
I can protest.
I totally love
I can.
discussing books with
I
her.
can. If I can find it, I can protest.
All right, you want to see what Act
Go
1...
it forward.
You know what? Oh, go forth, my dearest Sue of the Swanbeck family. For thus doth am a Swanbeck.
I can protest.
See, she's got the time right. Look at that. Look what she's got to show you guys. I love it. We haven't
I
even gone-
can protest.
She's doth. Look at that. Look at the rose, because the rose by any other name shall smell the sweetest. Right?
The rouge.
Look at that.
Any other name.
See? And we haven't even gone to Act 1 yet. Look how she's already getting...
Wah!
Are you a Montague or are you a Capulet?
I just don't understand a fucking word you just said.
I love it. I love it.
I have my sword at ready. My swordeth is
The
ready.
swordeth doth protest so much.
And don't be fooled, my roses have thorns.
Brenda goes, did you do something today to Michelle that she's getting even with you? No, wait till I tell her that what Act 1 is about.
Thorns.
Thorns.
Roses have thorns.
See, I'm going to start with Scene 1 in Act 1, right? And the first two characters you guys need to know are the servants to the Capulet family, which is Samson and Gregory.
It's not Samson and Goliath?
Not on this
Used to
one.
watch that cartoon.
That was a good one, right? Samson and Gregory are servants to the Capulets, the Capulet house, which is Juliet's family. Not, yes, light a candle for us. We need it, right? So let's see. Enter Samson and Gregory of the house of Capulet with a sword, with swords and bucklers. That's Sue's got it right down. She's got it down. That's in the streets of Verona. In Verona, Spain. She's going to light some magic while we're doing this. What's she going to do? She's going to cause me a friend spell here to go wrong. That's what it is.
Oh, my God.
All right, so Samson is the first one to speak. Samson. Gregory, on my word, will not carry coals. Gregory.
So he doesn't want to keep warm?
He doesn't want to do his job for the Capulets. He's being lazy.
Okay, but he
Okay.
said he didn't want to carry coal, so I
Right.
guess he doesn't want... Anybody wondering why I got thrown out of class now? If he doesn't want to carry coals, then I guess he's going to freeze.
He doesn't want, and obviously,
God.
he's servants to the Capulets, by the way.
He's a servant who wants to freeze his butt off.
Right, because not only is he going to freeze,
In
he's
his
also
butt
gonna have
flap
to freeze.
pajamas.
That's right.
Because they had butt flaps back then, so you could go to the bathroom.
That's right. Yes, they did.
The butt flaps.
Right? Oh, this is pretty interesting, though, right?
Yes.
So Gregory says no, for then we should be colliers, which is shoemakers, by the way.
Colliers.
Yes, colliers.
Colliers.
They actually,
Calling all shoes!
calling all shoes. And he goes, I mean, and we be in collar, we'll draw. Like, he's going to draw his sword if this dude thinks he's going to make him, do that kind of work, right?
Brenda, that's a brilliant idea.
Right?
I should go get the spaghetti strainer, too.
Yes!
It's like,
She's gonna act out the whole entire play. She's gonna
I
be
am
both.
ready, my swordeth.
Hey, while you live,
I needeth to cleaneth.
yes, you do. You needed to clean it. Draw your neck out of the collar. I strike quickly. I strike quickly. Being moved.
This is a very long sword. Are you sure you want me to strike it quickly?
No, you'll hurt yourself, right? But thou art not quickly moved
Thou
to strike.
art not. Huh.
Then he tells you to kill a dog.
Whoa.
A dog of the house of Montague. moves
I
me.
kill you.
To move is to stir.
Give me pizza.
And to
Or
be
I kill
valiant
you.
is to stand. Right? Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runnest away. But don't run with a sword. Do not run with an open sword.
Not unless it's in a sheath.
But these servants are pretty much talking crap about the Montague house. Because these are the Capulet servants. So they're talking shit about the other house.
But it didn't say they were talking shit, because if it would have said that, I would have understood it.
But it's what he's saying by referring to them as a dog.
They're a
dog of that house.
Hey,
shall
don't
move me.
insult dogs. They're better than people sometimes.
They really are. But they figured if they're Montagues, they will take the wall of any man or maid of Montagues. That means they will kill any Montague family member. Because they are even servants of the Capulets.
Okay.
So even the servants have to fight for their side. Okay?
Okay,
So-
and what if they're on the wrong side?
Then they get sword right through them by the other family. Because they're like on site. Like if a servant of the Montague sees a servant of the Capulets, they're going to fight to the death right there and then on site. Because as Act 1's going to explain,
Okay.
the quarrel is not just with the houses, it's with even the servants. as
So
well.
not only couldn't they speak right,
Yep.
but they condoned violence.
Heck yeah. Kill on sight.
Okay.
Kill him. Okay? We like the dogs, but we kill him. What? No, you'll hurt somebody, don't let me. Yeah, everything is a weapon today, right?
I think she's talking about my thoughts.
But here's Gregory, right? The servant to the Capulets says,
I need my wings for my Viking hat.
you should get that. That shows thee a weak slave. For the weakest goes to the wall. Which is the wall where they shoot with literally like shoot bows and arrows to kill people. So they're already saying that the
So
other
they
house-
goeth to the wall.
They go to the walls. Then
Goeth.
They rather die for the family that they represent than be a weak slave or dog to the
Okay,
other
so
family.
why didn't they just say they go to the wall? What the heck is it goeth?
They goeth.
Goeth?
Because they used to wear tights, Sue.
Oh, God.
Can you think about the
See,
constriction?
I would have been an old spinster back then.
I tell you, this whole entire play is due to constriction of the leotards that they wore around their testicles. This is what the basis and the down-hole nitty-gritty of William Shakespeare's book is. If they didn't have to wear tight, constricting clothes around their testicles,
Okay.
none of this would happen.
So the whole moral of the story is don't date a man in tights because you'll end up killing yourself.
Every man in that day and age, though, had to
Hey,
wear tights.
Tiffany.
The only people that had common sense in their brains was the women, because the women did not have restrictive tights. They didn't even have corsets back then.
Awesome.
It wasn't the day of the corsets, guys. It was prior to that. Where
Okay.
they would lace up things. There was no actual corsets at the time. So the women were not constricted. They didn't have the lack of oxygen to their brains. They didn't have lack of oxygen to their private parts, unlike the men had.
Because they have to goeth to the wall. Sounds
Yes.
like they're going there to pee or something.
If they were
They
facing
are
the wall, they might be
goeth.
pee.
They goeth.
They go with forward.
Hopefully the wind's not blowing in their faces. That would suck. I'm sorry.
But
Oh,
the
my
servants are
God.
talking shit, though. The servants are literally talking shit, right? And this, they were even now they're going to tell you about how women are stronger than men.
Well,
This is how they say it, though, right?
men can't give birth. That
Well, they
solves
can't.
that.
But this is what they say. 'Tis true, and therefore women...
Wait a minute. Did they say tits true?
'Tis true.
Okay. Sorry.
They go into the walls. Yes, Brenda's getting into this. 'Tis true, and therefore women, being the weaker vessels, are ever thrust to the wall. Therefore, I will push Montague's men from the wall and thrust his maids to the wall. In other words, the women, the men cannot even handle being put
Okay,
to
so
to
he's
death.
thrusting all kinds of maids on the wall while bows and arrows are being shot.
Yeah, and he even considers the women a lot stronger than the males that would be put to the walls because the women wouldn't protest.
So he's having sex. So he's a whore, a man whore.
Well, they consider everything is sexist in this day and age.
Okay.
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 This is why we gotta talk about this.
So we're dealing with men in tights who are man whores.
Man whores and sexist.
No offense, people.
Very, very sexist, okay?
Okay.
And this is what he says next. The quarrel is between our masters and us, their men. The men.
Okay.
'Tis all one. I will show myself a tyrant when I have fought with the men. But I will be civil with the maids. I will cut off their heads.
Awesome.
The heads of the maids? Aye, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads, their virginity.
Oh.
Take it in what sense thou wilt. They must take it in since that I feel it. I know. Go ahead, Sue.
Can you just get to the sword shit?
Let me get to the next chapter. Even we're not even in the next chapter yet.
I don't like this.
They shall feel while I am able to stand, and 'tis know I am a pretty piece of flesh. In other words, he's saying he's got a big one.
So he's stuck up.
He's stuck up. He's saying he's got his.
But
oh, shoot! Hear this one.
Okay.
'Tis well thou art not fish. If thou hadst been poor John. Draw thy tool. Here comes two of the house of Montagues.
So he likes to have sex with fish.
Yes, because he's talking about his manhood. He's talking about how
No,
men
sex with fish.
fishy smells. What do they think of as fishy smells? Fishy women's crotches. They're talking about a woman's crotch and their sexuality. Right? I know Sue's like, I don't understand how the hell they could do this. Let's talk about naked people. Now, this goes to show you how a man's perspective
So
is.
what grade did you learn this in?
In high school.
What grade was that?
7th, 8th grade.
Seventh, eighth grade. So you were like a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
And then they wonder what's wrong with kids now.
Right. And they wonder why the kids hate this shit, right? And nobody even stops to break it down and explain it to them. Okay?
Yeah, I still don't get it.
Because, wait, listen to this
Okay,
one.
father-in-law hates father-in-law. Kids love each other. They do something dumb rather than running away. End of story.
Yeah, but there's more complications to get to that point. So this part, literally, they're talking about, again, the male is talking about his genitalia. Okay? My naked weapon is out. Quarrel.
In
I
public?
exactly. In public.
Normally you get arrested for that stuff.
Not then. Not then.
Alrighty.
How? Turn thy back and run. Fear me not. No, marry, I fear thee. Let us take the law of our sides. Let them begin. I will frown as I pass by, and let them take it as they list. Nay, as they dare, I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear it. Do you bite your thumb at us, sir? I do bite my thumb, sir. Do you bite your thumb at us, sir? It is the law of our side if I say I, which means yes. And Gregory says no. No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I bite my thumb, sir. Do you quarrel?
Why the hell is he biting his thumb?
Like, ooh.
He's trying to shut up?
Like, yeah, like, I'm going to shut my mouth because, I don't have a big enough genitalia to put out there. That's what he's saying. That is literally what he's saying.
Right.
I don't have big enough genitalia to put out there. So I'm just going to go to all the guys that are showing off their genitalia.
Oh my God.
Because listen, back in those days, a man only had his penis.
Because he had no brains.
He had no brains. He had no wife. Remember, these are the single men. They had no wife. They had no life. So it was all about sex and making someone your wife, and then finally becoming the stature of a husband.
Right.
Head of a household.
Well, tonight, Tiffany, Michelle is reading Romeo and Juliet, and I'm politely making fun of the language.
And I love that she's doing that. Because it's allowing me to explain, which is great.
I'm being a punk. I'm just literally being a punk.
Well, this now enters Benvolio. Benvolio.
Are we done yet?
No. Benvolio is he's the nephew to the Montagues and a friend to Romeo. So he happens to come in and hear these two guys talking shit. This is where he comes in.
Okay.
So he hears the two servants of the Capulets literally talking shit about their genitalia.
So when he was just on the first chapter and I was in class snoring,
Yep.
that was a bad thing?
Yeah, because you haven't gotten to the good stuff yet.
There is no good stuff, so I can't get past this.
All right, let's see if you understand this next part, okay? So here comes the friend of Romeo, and he's a Montague. So,
Okay.
and remember, these are the Capulet servants, so he hears them talking shit. He goes, here comes one of my master's kinsmen. He goes, yes, better, sir. And Abraham goes, you lie. Samson goes, draw, if you be men. Gregory, remember thy swashing blow. Okay? So Benvolio, which is the opposite family,
Wait a
right?
minute. Benvolio?
Benvolio.
Benvolio.
Yes.
Never mind.
Beating down their weapons is what he's doing. Beating down his weapon. You know what I'm saying? He tells them, put up your swords. You know not what you do. So put your penises away, little boys. You can't hang with the big boys because we got big weapons and swords up here. In other words, in English. Does that make sense, Sue?
Yeah, what? No.
Now enter Tybalt, who is his nephew to Lady Capulet, who happens to be Juliet's. They're having a dinner. Did you want to go do the dinner while I read this?
What?
So Tybalt comes in. Now he is a nephew to Lady Capulet. So he goes, what art thou drawn amongst these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, look upon thy death. I do, but keep the peace. Put up thy sword or manage it to part these men with me. In other words, saying, now it's 2 against 2, so are you going to help me beat up
I
these
only
guys?
got 2 hands, and right now they're being occupied, dude. Seriously.
What, drawn and talk of peace? I hate that word, as I hate hell. All Montagues and thee. Have at thee, coward. They fight.
Okay.
Enter several people of the both houses who join into this big fight. Mind you, that started off as talking about their manhood. Then enter citizens of the city and the town and peace officers with clubs.
Oh my God. All right,
So,
sorry.
So in other words, other people, outsiders, have to come in and break up this huge, stupid fight, which started off talking about the manhood. Okay. Clubs, bills, and partisans strike. Beat them down. Down with the Capulets.
Down.
Down with the Montagues.
Down.
Now enter old Capulet in his gown and Lady Capulet. So the men wore dresses too at this time.
Okay, so they wore tights and dresses.
If you were not a man of the house, you only wore the tights.
Okay.
If you were the old man of the house, you would wear those gowns.
Okay.
Okay? Probably with nothing underneath them.
Brenda would like to know how many times you've actually read this.
I was literally a Shakespearean buff back in high school, like crazy. I read all of Shakespeare. I don't know why, but I did. I did. And for some reason I understood. I don't know why. But here comes
Play.
Sir Capulet. What noise is this? Give me my long sword, ho! Yes, he called him a hoe. A crutch? A crutch? Why call you for a sword? My sword, I say! Old Montague has come and flourishes his blade in spite of me. So now the old Montague, yes, and the other old Capulet are seeing each other face to face in this area. So Montague yells back at Capulet and says, "Thou villain, Capulet! Hold me not! Let me go! Thou shalt not stir 1 foot to seek a foe." Now, mind you, these are 2 fancy houses, but there's still a prince. There's still royalty. So the Prince Aeschylus and his train of, like, royal followers come into this big-ass mess, right? Capulets are fighting the Montagues. Montagues are fighting the Capulets. The servants from this one's fighting the servants of that one. There's people in tights running around everywhere. Okay, it's a mess.
Okay.
So the prince comes in and says this
It's
to
a
his
mess.
subjects. Big mess. The dogs are fighting.
Yes.
There's Montague and Capulet going on over here. Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace. Profaners of this neighbor-stained steel, will they not hear? What? Ho, you men, you beasts, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins. On pain of torture from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word. See, Brenda's loving it.
Mom.
Brenda's loving it.
Mom, I'm bored.
So listen what Prince Aeschylus keeps saying. though.
I haven't followed any of this. I don't know who's who. All I know is that men wear tights and dresses, and
Yeah.
they sit there and they hold their candlesticks because they don't know what else to do with
They
them.
don't know what else to do. It's all about who's got the biggest pair of testicles.
Oh,
Now this is the prince is still telling everybody off though, right? So he goes, by thee, old Capulet and old Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave beseeming ornaments. Again, talking about genitalia. To wield old partisans in hands as old, cankered with peace to part your cankered hate.
Brenda
If
wants to know
ever-
if I'm grounded.
You are. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time, all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me. And Montague, come you this afternoon. To know our farther pleasure in this case, to old Freetown, our common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart. So everybody takes off. This is the best time ever reading this shit.
Okay, got another one. Keep going.
Okay,
I
ready?
got more.
So now Montague, right, which is Romeo's family, his dad, goes like this. Who set this ancient quarrel new abroach? Speak, nephew, were you by when it began?
So now the guy's bisexual.
Men were bisexual back then.
Okay.
So Benvolio, which was the nephew of the Montagues, right? He wrote, here were the servants of your adversary. The servants caused this fight, by the way. And yours, close fighting ere I did approach. I drew to part them in this instant came. Thy fairy Tybalt with his sword prepared, which as he breathed defiance to my ears, he swung about his head and cut the winds, who nothing hurt withal, hissed him in scorn. While we were interchanging thrusts and blows, came more and fought on part and part, till the prince came, who parted either part. So he's pretty much telling Montague what happened up until the point where he got there. Yes. Oh, where is Romeo? Romeo, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray. Benvolio says, Madam,
Excuse me.
maybe it's Joe.
The door's unlocked.
Madam, an hour, maybe he's not unlocked downstairs. An hour before thy worshipped sun, peer forth thy golden window of the east, and troubled mind drave me to walk abroad, where underneath the grove of sycamores that westward rooteth from the city's side. So early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me, and stole into the covert of the wood. Yeah, men were able to do anything and everything. Men had that ability. That's why men were literally the actors of every play. Men even played the parts of women in these plays. Women were not allowed to even play themselves in these plays. So a man was literally the one dressed in a dress playing the part of Juliet. And men did kiss when Juliet and Romeo kissed, and it was two men.
Oh, I don't care about that.
But that's what was going on.
I just think the wording is ridiculous.
Oh, I mean, that's how they talked back then. I can't believe they actually did talk back like that, right? We're reading Romeo and Juliet today, Becca, by William Shakespeare. And Sue is cracking us the hell up. Cracking us the hell up. All right, but I'm going to continue on with this. Now, I'm going to remind you, this is the Montague speaking. I, measuring his affections by my own, which then most sought were, most might not be found, being one too many by my weary self, pursued my humor, not pursuing his, and gladly shunned who gladly fled from me. So in other words, he saw Romeo. Romeo ran into the woods and hid from him because he didn't want to see his cousin. Okay?
He hid from him.
Yes.
Because he was a scaredy cat.
Probably because he didn't want to fight with the other men in tights. Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs, but all so soon as the all-cheering sun should in the farthest east begin to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed. Away from light steals home my heavy son, in private in his chambers pens himself, shuts up his windows, locks fair daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night. Black and portentous must his humor prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove. Then he asks his uncle, my noble uncle, do you know the cause? Because in other words, Romeo's depressed. He's freaking depressed. Okay, he finds everything in his life hopeless. He's so like, oh my God, I have nothing to live for. I'm going to pull the shades. I'm going to pretend every night is night. I'm going to sleep away my life. I want nothing to do with nothing and nothing to do with anybody. So his cousin asks his uncle, I neither know it nor can learn of him. Have you importuned him by any means? And now his father says about Romeo, both by myself and many other friends, but he, his own affections counselor, as is to himself, I will not say how true, but to himself so secret and so close, so far from sounding and discovery, as is the bud bit with an envious worm. Ere he can spread his sweet leaves to the air, or dedicate his beauty to the sun. Could we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as know. In other words, they cannot understand what the hell is going on with Romeo. What is wrong with this dude? Why is he so depressed? Why is he so miserable? Why is nothing make him happy? He's just depressed and miserable and pathetic. So they're talking about him. They're talking shit about Romeo. Because he's just so pathetically sad and miserable about everything. Anything and everything. As Sue plays the background music to our tale here. Right? Yes, the book was written by a poet. By William Shakespeare. So that's how we used to put his language out there. But now enter Romeo. Okay? Mind you, this is depressed. He's dark. He's probably what we would consider like a gothy, depressed person. Okay? So he comes in, Romeo, and he says to his cousin Benvolio, see where he comes. Benvolio says to him, I'm sorry. See where he comes? So please you step aside. I'll know his grievance or be much denied. Now this is the Romeo's father says, I would thou wert so happy by thy stay, to hear true shrift. Come, madam, let's away. So in other words, Romeo's mother and father leave. because they're thinking maybe his cousin can talk to him about what the hell's going on, and maybe they'll find out why is he so freaking depressed. Why is he so miserable? Nobody can figure out why Romeo's so devastated about life. So Benvolio goes, good morrows, cousin. And Romeo goes, is the day so young? Kind of like if we asked like our teenagers, hey, how you going? How's things going? It's fine. It's okay. Because how else is he going to answer, right? He's just a miserable freaking teenager. And mind you, Romeo and Juliet were teenagers. So if they were living in our day and age, that would have been it. They would have been on social media talking about how miserable and depressed they are, how they have no life, they don't know nothing, they don't like nothing, they don't like anything. They're just miserable. That's what our teenagers would be like right now if they were around. But now they have social media. So if they're depressed, they put it out there, and then they talk to people. This is how they talk to people back in the day. So Benvolio now reminds his cousin, right, that it's daytime.
Is that off-tune enough?
Huh?
Is that off-tune enough?
It didn't sound off-tune to me.
Damn it.
Benvolio says, but news struck 9. Romeo goes, ay, me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast? It was. What sorrow lengthens Romeo's hours? Right? So why are you so depressed, guy? Dude, why are you so miserable? But Benvolio answers his question. Goes, it was. Not having that which having makes them short. Benvolio wrote in love. Romeo go out of love. Out of her favor where I am in love. Alas, that love, so gentle in his view, should be so tyrannous and rough in proof. So Romeo is in love with somebody else. But everybody sees he's in love with. He's at that type of his life. Falls in love with anybody and everybody that gives him any attention. Okay? So, he's depressed over lack of love. That's what he's so miserable about. So Romeo goes, alas, that love whose view is muffled still, should without eyes see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? God's me what fray was here. Yet tell me not, for I have heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, O brawling love, O loving hate, O anything of nothing first create, O heavy lightness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire. Thank you. Sick health, still waking sleep, that is not what it is. This love feel I, that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh? Thou not laugh? No, cuz I rather weep. Good heart at what? I, thy good heart oppression. This is how miserable and depressed this guy is. I'm sorry, but if I was a woman and I was hearing him talking like this, I don't think I'd find him hot.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I would definitely not find this Romeo hot. I would think he was in some serious need of some help.
I don't know.
He's just so miserable and depressing. We have not even gotten to the first scene.
Are we done
yet.
with the first chapter?
We're almost done with it.
My God.
Okay? So Romeo says, why such is love's transgression? Griefs of my own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed. With more of thine, this love that thou hast shown, doth add more grief too much of my own. Love is a smoke raised with the fume of sighs, being purged a fire sparkling in lovers' eyes. Being vexed, a sea raging with lovers' tears. What else, what is it else, a madness most discreet, a choking gall and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my cuz. Soft I will go along, and if you leave me, so you do me wrong. So again, his cousin's trying to get out of him. But this big depression coming out of Romeo, right? He's so miserable. He's in love with somebody, but she's not returning his kindness and his love. So he's completely pouring out his misery to his cousin.
Oh, the story's Romeo and Juliet, and I was just being a punk, doing sound effects. Because it's what I do. I just don't, yeah. Nope.
Is anybody understanding me?
Nope, haven't heard a word.
No?
Probably
what do you guys
another
think?
reason
I
why.
haven't even finished Scene one.
It's probably why I've gotten thrown out of class.
But you're asking valid questions. Like, seriously.
No, actually, I'm making fun of it.
But think about it.
Is that
in
me
your
or yours?
holistic expertise, right? In your Dr. Seuss expertise, if Romeo walked into your office and said all this crap about himself,
Well, first of all, I'd ask him to speak English.
okay, so let's say he speaks English.
If he speaks English and he's depressed because he can't find love,
Yes.
first words out of my mouth is you need to love yourself before anybody else can love you.
So he's thinking
Here's
he's
a rose
nothing without
quartz.
love.
No, I'm just kidding.
He thinks his identity is all based in who he loves.
No.
who loves him.
Life is about how much you love yourself.
So he's probably 15, 16 in this story. And he is in misery because he's alone. He has no one to love and no one to love him. So he's just completely depressed about this. He's so focused on love that he locks himself up in his chambers because he's that miserable and depressed about love. So he's not thinking about self-love.
Okay, no offense, but that's not reality.
So talk. What would reality be?
Reality?
Yes.
Oh, man, this bitch don't want me. I'm going to go find someone else.
You would think, right?
Oh, wait, I'm with this bitch. I love her. Let me go date someone else at the same time.
Right.
That's the way life is now.
He hasn't met Juliet yet, though. He hasn't met her yet.
It doesn't matter.
So he's only being a whiny bitch, crying about how he can't find love and nobody loves him.
And then when he
nobody
finds
wants
it,
him.
all they do is throw it away anyways. End of story. Boom, done. There you go. Problem solved. Will you two stop?
Should I go ahead into where Juliet actually meets Romeo? Would that help?
Probably not. But Brenda's enjoying it.
She's into Romeo and Juliet too. Because there's a lot of that. But do you want me to get to where?
Yeah, I don't do anything about love. I don't.
This is the whole
It's not
thing
my
about
thing.
this story too. It's because it's considered a tragic love story.
Okay.
Tragic, obviously, because it ends in death. But
Uh-huh.
not only that, the tragic points throughout the whole story.
Why Romeo and Juliet?
Well, I could have gotten Hamlet, which is more about more death and darkness.
Yeah, anything better than romance.
Well, this is love. This is our Thursday.
Love always ends in death. I'm a widow.
You're right, though. You are right. Love usually,
Yeah.
if you love someone your whole life, it usually ends up in the death of one or the other. Okay? Okay, we got to get on to a happier book.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about this? At the break, I got a happier book. How's that?
What? Not Three Blind Mice, right?
Not Three Blind Mice.
Okay.
But I have a book with stories that I think all of you plus Sue would like, and it's English folk tales.
Okay. That I could get into, but this love
Sue
stuff.
is about ready to gouge her eyes out
Yeah, no.
over William
no,
Shakespeare.
No.
But I got some pretty cool. Ooh, there's the gypsy woman story. I think.
See,
that might
but
be the
Michelle
one.
is actually running the show tonight, and I'm just the commentary.
I figured we shall do some adulting
As
today.
Michelle sits here and stares through the other
Shall we
books,
read the
knowing
ass, the table,
Sue
and
doesn't
the
know
stick?
what to do with herself
Who
at
wants
the
to
moment.
read the ass, the table, and the stick?
The ass?
The ass, the table, and the stick.
Okay, this ass or a donkey ass?
I haven't read it yet, but I'm assuming it might be a donkey ass, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Which one?
Oh shoot!
Never mind. I got a few names I can add.
Ooh, how about the frog? Oh, that's love again. The frog lover.
Okay, that's just gross.
The frog lover.
That's gross.
Should we talk about? No, that's sorrow and love. How about feathers? Do you like feathers? You like feathers? There's the glass mountain. Ooh, let's read the old witch. That's it. That's what
What?
we're
She
reading.
turns into a beautiful witch and finds love, right?
I don't know. I do not know, but this is the story of the old witch. I won't
Yeah.
read that, and I think you guys will actually like this story. Okay. Now, and I have had this book on my desk over here for quite some time now, because I think that it has a lot of really good stories in it. It really does. And it's not William Shakespeare, so it is written in English, in proper English, I should say.
Oh, I've seen Shrek.
Shrek.
Yeah. I've seen Shrek.
So what part of Shrek is she talking about?
Donkey.
Oh, donkey.
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 Yeah, I got a daughter that's really into Disney movies to this day.
Oh, yeah, you never give up on Disney. Disney's just
Yeah.
one of those things, that's for sure. So we're gonna wait for after break though, so that way I can get through the whole entire story. But so we all know that this ends up tragic, right? Romeo and Juliet ends up tragic. They secretly get married, and then they're still forced to try to marry somebody else. Juliet pulls a fast one. She does include Romeo in on what's going on. He goes and kills himself before she wakes up. And when she sees that he's dead, she feels like there's no reason for her to live, so she kills herself there too.
Yeah.
So that is the story in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, that's the whole thing.
In a nutshell. But if for those of you guys that do like the William Shakespeare, this is a play. It's written in a play format.
See, I like my stories better.
Which story? Tell me. I'll read your stories. Yes.
Well, no, you probably can't because this is a PG show.
Whoa,
But that's not the point. In my stories, the woman is the hero. The woman saves life. Okay, she might have her heart broken a couple of times, but in the end, the guy gets clocked anyway. So, the woman is the one that goes to save everybody, and literally puts herself at risk. And she's the one out there doing everything and trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to help this one, having these men ignore her. So literally just going on their merry little way.
It's true. And it's like, that's the thing. That is literally the thing. And, but I just figured, this more than anything was about literally listening to a story, an adult story. Not watching a TV show or not watching a movie.
I can't listen to those kind of stories.
But it's stuff, it's about literally getting a story read to you. As an adult, how often does that happen? If we go anywhere and there's ever a story read to us, it's usually a kid's book because we're at some kid thing going on. Okay? So, actually, I'm going to have Sue pick the story.
No.
Yes.
Sue is
You are going to pick the story, and on break. Here we go. Pick a few stories out of that one. No. I'm not kidding.
No.
Pick it.
Let's make a story up.
We can make a story up.
I don't want to pick a story.
Pick a story.
I don't know anything about this thing.
It has all kinds of different stories in there. Those are the ones.
Oh, Snow White. Yeah, these are all.
We've read Snow White.
It depends which folktale you're talking about, because most of the time they're based on something, but every folktale is different.
Sue's getting it.
Oh, I know that. Every folktale is different depending on your religious background. So something you say might not be accurate to my religious base or my spiritual beliefs, and I have no idea. A lot of wives and husbands here. You pick something that doesn't have to do with love.
I'm gonna try to pick something that has nothing to do with love.
Otis! Or is that Buddha?
I don't know. Buddha again.
Booty!
Let's see. How about a story about a mermaid?
Who's looking for love?
Is it a mermaid looking for love? I don't know. I never read it. How about the Wizard of Alderley Edge?
The Wizard. Let's see.
There's love in the Wizard?
The Wizard helps somebody find love.
I don't know.
I'm being such a punk.
I don't know, to be honest. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm being a punk.
Let's see. There's the Haunted Barn. That must have nothing to do with love. There's In a Haunted House. The Devil and the Farmer. The Naturalist and the Devil. The Haunted Widower.
Yeah, no.
No?
No.
The Curse of the Shoemaker.
How about if we get going and have a quick break, and we'll be back. We'll be able to, maybe I'll stop picking on Michelle tonight. I can't help it. But we're actually going to get ready to go for a break, and we'll be right back.
Yep.
All right.
The Witch Wife. It's already white.
Hey there, how the hell there, guys? We
Hi,
are back.
guys.
We are back. Don't forget. Before
I'm done torturing Sue with Shakespeare. I am done.
All right. So before we get into anything, don't forget this month's giveaway is Sunstone Runes. Sunstone Runes. Come and cast runes with me.
And she was doing it on Tuesday night, guys. The old-fashioned
The
casting.
old
of the runes.
casting.
There is a method to the madness.
I don't know why. I was told to. So, what did you guys discover so far tonight?
What?
What did you guys discover so far tonight?
Love sucks. Men shouldn't wear pantyhose.
Well, there are differences in a lot of people, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But just because we're all different and like different things
Yeah.
doesn't mean we don't get along.
Right?
Uh-huh.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
But that also means that we appreciate the differences, though.
Exactly, because if the world was full of people that liked everything all the
That'd
time,
be pretty sickening and boring.
it would be very boring,
Yeah.
don't you think?
It
It
would
would
be
be
very
extremely
pathetically
boring.
It'd be like
So-
them talking, like the Shakespeare book where they spelt the whole entire chapter just talking about their penises.
Yeah, that was pointless. And that, my opinion, is something like that is a pointless and sexist. Okay,
Oh,
now,
very sexist.
yes.
Very sexist.
So I never did follow anything like that. But that's me. Michelle and Brenda, on the other hand, loved the Shakespeare. Okay? So how many other out there love the Shakespeare or are having more fun with the commentary in the background? This is what we want to know.
I like the commentary.
Everybody is different, guys. Opposites attract. This was an experiment.
Social experiment, everybody.
Social experiment. What happens when Sue is someone different, objective, non-cooperative, a punk, distractive, and Michelle is trying to do something?
Hey.
What happens?
What happens, guys?
What do you think happens? What happened? Talk to us. What do you think happened during the first hour of the show when we were total opposites and I was being the punk or the little kid and Michelle was being the adult?
That sounds so weird when you say
Yeah.
that. Michelle was being the adult.
I'm 11 years older. I can say I adult more than you.
You do adult.
By 11 years.
But you do adult. You adult.
No. Actually, I'm a lot goofier than what people actually realize, but that's okay. I mean, I still pulled my family sword out for you guys and everything.
Look at that, though, right? That's a family heirloom, guys.
Yeah.
And if she was in the day of age,
Oh, she learned Sue plays music. Yeah, I do.
yes, she does.
Yeah.
Which that is something that actually came out really nicely because normally you do not pick up your guitar.
No, I don't.
So today she actually did something out of her norm.
Exactly.
And out of something she has been wanting to get back into but hasn't done it.
Right.
Hasn't felt the motivation to do it. Motivated to do that today. Picked up the guitar, did some of the flute, did her drumming. By the way, eventually we're going to get her to sing. Okay? Because she can sing, she just won't sing. But she
No.
can sing.
It's been many years.
Yeah. So she got
Many,
to do
many
some
years.
fun.
So you
different
learn that,
things.
yes, I do play instruments. I gave my electric guitar to my son, and I kept the acoustic.
And you played very nicely.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm a little rusty. My guitar's off tune, too, so that's okay. Yes, I can play the flute. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And I do drum,
Yeah.
so okay. So, again, Michelle pushes you off the cliff, Lord. I'm sorry, trying to read this, and I'm trying not to laugh at the same time. It's very difficult to read with your eyes closed.
And the funny thing was I kept insisting that we were going to do Shakespeare tonight.
Yes.
Okay? But that distraction literally got her to pick up her guitar.
Okay. Social experiment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
How many of you guys did something out of your norm? Today?
yeah. How many? How many
many?
out there? Sue played stupid phone.
But think about it. Did you take a walk and maybe go on a different path today? Did you maybe, instead of having, cream with your coffee, did you decide to go black coffee today? I mean, did you do something different out of your norm today? Did you stress? Did you stretch out your boundaries?
I broke this selenite. Here's a piece.
Oh, well, thank you.
I was sitting here playing with it and it broke. Okay, so what else did you discover? I discovered that Brenda really enjoys Shakespeare, where she can quote it. And I know that Michelle is very passionate about it and understands the terminology.
Uh-huh.
And I guess you guys discovered I really did get thrown out of class. Yeah.
She wasn't kidding, guys.
Nope, that was real.
But look, that distraction out of her norm literally caused her to pick up her guitar and play her guitar.
Right. So, socially, what was I avoiding? Why did I pick up the guitar? What was I avoiding?
What were you avoiding?
I know what I was avoiding. I want to know if you guys know what I was avoiding.
What was she avoiding, guys?
What about you, Michelle? What was I avoiding?
You were avoiding the love part of it.
Exactly.
The love part.
The love part. I was avoiding it. So this is what happens a lot of times when we're out in, whether it's relationships or whether it's a social experiment, which we just did, or whether it has to do with anything else. What happens is people will avoid what they're not comfortable with.
Right.
So if you
What's
notice
different?
somebody that's like a practical jokester, or if you bring up a certain topic and people get angry and ornery or things, or they get sobby or just withdraw, that's them not being comfortable with a particular topic.
Right.
Do you see what we're talking about here?
And it's important for your friends and your
Michelle's
family.
story, because it's written by a poet. Actually, believe it or not, sweetheart, I write poetry.
Yeah.
I do write
Yeah.
poetry.
Hi, Becky Bennett.
Becky. So yes, I do write poetry. So the poetry part did not bother me at all.
Maybe it was the male sexist part, because that's something a lot of like, not, how do you say it, like a lot of women have an issue with how sexist things were back in those days.
Nope.
Okay.
No, that
'Cause
wasn't it either.
that is one thing a lot of women
That
can't
wasn't
even
it.
like.
Yeah, that wasn't it either.
Because I've known women that literally
Yeah.
cannot, because what do you call those women that are I don't know what the word, how you title them, but women that fight for women's rights. There's a word I'm looking for. They're
I'm having a brain fart.
yeah, I'm having a brain fart too.
Total brain fart.
But I mean, women usually fight for women's rights, and women that do fight for women's rights usually find a problem with the fact that Shakespeare is very sexist, and he is very sexist.
Right.
That was the day and the
Yeah,
time.
no, that didn't bother me. To me, it's the storyline itself. Coming from experience, I don't believe that a man would give up anything, even if he did love her. I just don't believe it.
And that's the cause of the story, really.
Right.
The basis of all the middle parts is the fact that
Activists, okay, yes.
Right. Female activists. Thank
Yes,
you.
that was Becky.
Oh, thank you, Becky. Thank you. I could not find that word for my life. But they have it. You know what I mean? They do, and it is hard to believe nowadays that star-crossed lovers are a real thing.
Right. Star-crossed lovers, yes, are lovers. But would one give up? And that's the question today. I want you guys to all answer it. If you are star-crossed lovers or in a star-crossed lover relationship, or you know somebody that is, or even just your opinion.
Well, you love somebody, but yet you both know you can't be together.
Okay.
For some reason.
So, would one person give up everything forever to be with that other individual? What's your
Forever.
opinion? What's your opinion, guys, on this? What do you feel? Do you feel that one individual could give everything up for the other and never go back to it?
Give up their mother, their father, their brothers, their sisters, their cousins, their way of life, their way of being, and go and struggle with this person to make a life together. At the same time, though, all you have is your love.
Right. So, and it's different. And again, it's different concepts, different times. So you believe one person could give up everything for another individual.
Brenda said yes, she does. She does believe that.
So she believes in love.
She believes in love. Yeah.
She believes in love.
See, and beyond all of it, when it comes down to the nitty gritty, that's exactly what it is
Right.
the love piece of it. But do you love somebody enough to leave other people that are important to you? Do you love somebody enough that other people that you do love, you are never going to see them again?
Yeah.
Are you going to love one person versus loving 20 people that is in your
Oh
brothers
yeah,
and
well,
sisters' family?
we're talking more like a loving man-woman relationship is what
Yeah.
we're talking about,
Yeah,
or a woman-woman, or man-man, or however which way we're talking about a love relationship right now. Right, couples is what we're talking about. Like, and that's what it is. Yes, I know a lot of us would give up everything for our grandchildren. Yes, I agree on
heck
that.
yeah.
In a heartbeat, even our children. But and Becky Bennett says yes. See, and I still say no.
You still say no. You
Nope.
don't believe that people would put love before anything and
Nope.
everything else to be
No, I
together.
don't. No, I don't.
Okay, so what do you base that on?
Experience.
In your personal experience?
Yep.
Okay, so how do you feel love conquers all?
No.
You don't believe that that's a realistic thing?
Nope.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
Nope.
So what do you think love actually is then?
My kids, my friends, and what I do.
Okay.
That's it.
And does that give you feelings of love though? Like that kind of love?
Yes.
Would you give up this show for
Never.
someone?
Never.
Never. Neither. Right? Never.
Never.
No one's gonna ever tell us what to do about that.
Never. I would
But
never give up this
Because
show.
you love it too much.
I do.
You would never give up your kids
Nope. Wouldn't give them up either.
because you love them so much.
Yeah.
But yet, you'd give up a man, right?
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
But
in a
see,
heartbeat.
she's already had that great love. So it's like she feels like there is no other great love now. Because you've already had your great love.
Well, now it's this and it's crystals, and then I've discovered I like wrapping things. So
Wrapping and then there's the
wrapping
twins
with
coming.
wires, not wrapping like my son does in the living room because I don't understand half the words they're talking about. Hey, this is a person, little dog, cat, yeah, cat, dog, dog and a cat and a dog and a walking on the bike and there we go. Yeah, you know, and they're all famous. It's like okay, they like cats and dogs.
Brenda's gonna
Half
come
the
beat the
time.
crap out of us.
Yeah, half the time I'm walking up and I'm saying, "What are they saying, Joe?"
It's bad. Some of them are bad.
Literally, some of them are so bad
They even have a
that
style called mumble rap.
yeah,
now.
literally, it's even worse. They
It
can
is.
have like one sentence and rap it through the entire song, 50 million different beats.
It's crazy.
I don't get it.
It is. It's nuts.
You know, but that's his thing.
Yeah.
That's what he connects to, like my rock and roll. Oh, that's not real rock and roll. My father used to tell me.
Yeah.
Nah, let me show you what real rock and roll is. On comes Elvis again.
Of course.
So you know, and that was the thing, and that's the way it always is. But when it comes to love, here is the ultimate question.
Okay.
Once you've had it, and it's gone, do you think you could ever do anything again?
Right. That's the question.
Joe, is that you?
I don't know. The dogs are bugging.
No, there was a man just growling. Hold on. Continue.
You heard a man growling.
Yeah.
We got some crazy activity going on tonight in this house. Just want to say, before we were doing the crystal show, literally a pumpkin flew from one side of the dining room into the other side into my room. It literally did. And we've been hearing weird growlings, and we've been hearing weird noises and weird voices, and how do you call it? Disassociated voices. So it's like voices just kind of out of nowhere.
Either that or your dog's possessed.
I mean, it could be.
So, and that's the thing. And that's why people don't see eye to eye. Because it's not that they don't believe in love or they don't believe it exists. But sometimes they don't want to remember what used to be.
Yes.
So they avoid. They put off. They change the subject. They act goofy.
Yeah.
They pick up guitars. It's like, because they just don't.
Because
That's
you're
not.
uncomfortable with the whole love thing.
Oh, big time now. Big time.
And
Not
I get
interested.
that, though.
Yeah.
I get that because you had your love.
Yeah.
How can anybody ever replace that person? No one ever can. No one ever can. Look at these guys. No one ever can.
Yeah. So it's like, and that's what it is. And that's why certain things you bring up will make others uncomfortable. And it's like, okay, yes, I was a little uncomfortable, so I just went with it. But you know what? But we kind of like knew this was going to happen this way.
Yeah.
So this was a social experience about me being the punk, the guitar, the flute, the punky commentary, the complaining, the grouch, the grimps, the grandpa on the porch. Ah, freaking kids, where the heck are you going out there?
Yeah. And it's all because of love.
Yeah, exactly.
Love causes your feelings of being uncomfortable in conversations.
It can also cause, it can also cause joy. It can also cause happiness. It can cause sadness. So love does cause many different aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Many.
So if someone came to you and asked you about whether they feel like they're going to find their love, their true love one day, well, how would you respond?
I would literally have to read their energy to give them an honest answer because I won't lie about that.
Right.
I don't lie about that. I won't lie about loved ones because I have loved ones up there. So I know what it feels like, right down from a child to a father to a grandmother to a grandfather to a son. They're all up there. So I do know what it feels like. So that's one thing I never lie about.
That's right.
Yeah.
So she does make sure that when she
Yeah.
does give love advice, she gives love advice.
Right. If someone asks, I'm not going to pull any punches. I'm not going to tell anybody something they don't want to hear. If they come through, they come through. If they don't, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
There's just, those are things that, nope. I draw the line in that.
It's true.
Yeah, nope.
It's true. So let's say young teen like Joe came to you.
Right.
Oh, Mom, I've been talking to this girl. I love her. I think I love her. I think I'm going to tell her I love her. I want to date her. I want to do all these different things at his age.
Well,
What
let
kind
me
of
tell you.
advice you give?
See,
Yeah.
here's the difference. My kids would literally walk up to me. When my son, who's in the Army now and married, he was dating somebody and he really loved her, but she didn't treat him the way he needed to. So he literally came up and he talked to me before he signed up for the Army. And he says, Mom, he says, I don't know. I'm really thinking about going to do this. And he says, it's like, I feel like I want to escape, but he says, I really love her. And I said, honey, you haven't met who you're supposed to be with yet.
That's true.
And that was my honest answer. I've always known that. I've always known that eventually my son would move away because he was meant for greater things. And the one that he was meant to be with wasn't around here.
Was it?
Nope. I knew that. I've always known that. So that was the kind of the direction I led him into, and I was honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
is he with the person he's supposed to be with now?
oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
married, 2 kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that worked out. Like that was the advice that but you had somebody who was actually sane about their love.
Yeah, but see, my kids, they'll walk up to me and they'll even talk to me about sex before they have it.
Yeah. See, mine that way with my
Yeah.
kids too. Yeah. Stop yelling at me. He's yelling at me. I love you. Yeah.
No.
I love you.
So it's just the openness of what it is. And I'm addicted to this freaking white chocolate shit. Somebody take it
See,
away
like
from me.
with me, my daughter Tabitha, she's only had one boyfriend, one everything, So I've literally, like only experienced that. But yet, when they were going through those early stages of their relationship, before they even wanted to have sex with each other,
Right.
they discussed things with me. They were very open. My daughter's always been very open with me.
Mm-hmm.
But my son Adam is total opposite. No girls, no relationships, no nothing. Nothing. He's always had it in his head that he's got to get himself a good education, a good job, all that before he starts thinking about love.
Right.
So Adam has a totally different attitude about it. Tabitha's with her first kiss, her first love, her first
Yeah.
everything. They've been together 7 years now. Now they want to get married, as you know. Is that the kind of love? Like, I would have never thought when she's met him that was going to be it. But they get married. They want to get married.
Mm-hmm.
And I never thought that when they first started going out. I thought it was going to be the typical teenager thing. They're going to get to know each other. Kissy face here, kissy face there.
Nope.
Next thing you know, they're going to break up over something stupid and on to the next.
Right.
And with Tabitha surprised me because she was not that girl. Like, she did not date anybody else. Like,
Right.
He was her first every single thing. He went with her to the prom. All those high school like memories and things he was a part of. So there's a lot there based on their relationship.
My mother and father as well.
That's how they were. What's
Yeah, they
their
were high
story?
school sweethearts.
Oh wow. So she must miss him terribly still.
Yeah.
So how long has your mother been a widow?
What?
How long has your mom been a widow?
My father died in the year 2000.
It's almost 20 years. Almost 20 years of being a
Yep.
widow.
Yep.
See? And there's like these stories that you don't hear much about though anymore. You don't hear about people's love stories, how they met, how they fell in love. What was the defining factor even to
Mine
make
is
somebody?
hilarious.
Yours is delirious?
Hilarious.
Oh, hilarious. Tell me. Tell everybody.
Well, my husband was, how do I put this? The ultimate punk you don't mess with.
Which I see why she's attracted to that. Because
Yeah,
that's the
he
only
really
thing.
was. He was the ultimate punk you don't mess with. So he had a fish tank. My storage was underneath. So he spilled the fish tank. Fish tank dropped on the floor. It went all through my storage.
Oh my
And
God.
literally, he was electrocuted. He got shot across the room. He was so the Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Oh my
He
God.
got shot across the room. So when I went to go down there, and he never told me. So when I went to go down there to get my Christmas stuff out after my father died, his son also died.
Oh.
So literally, we're going at it in the driveway, yelling and screaming. I got my fists up. He's trying to get his fists up. I'm going off on him. Somebody yells out the window and says, "Do you know who you're messing with?" And I turn around and look, "Do you know who I am?" It was it. It was all done. I was going to kick his butt right there in the driveway. And he's never had a female stand up. He's never had anybody stand up to him before. And that was it. I was going to kill him right there.
Wow.
He ran in his house. I ran upstairs because my apartment was over his. I jumped on the floor and I called him chicken shit. Come out and face the Irish wench. And back then I was 105 pounds, okay? 105 pounds. I was going to kick his butt right there in the driveway. He wanted to marry me from that day forward.
See? That's it.
Yep.
That was it.
Where'd you meet your husband? In a driveway when I tried to kill him.
So you guys literally lived in the same house.
Yeah.
For how long did you guys live in that same house before you guys were actually together?
He was my best friend. But he pissed me off. Yeah.
So he pissed you off on a regular basis? How long before you guys moved in together?
Was about a good 2 years.
Wow.
We were friends for 2 years before we even knew we were a couple. Literally, my kids would go downstairs because Joey was my second husband. And my kids would go downstairs and invite him up for supper. Hey, we got to go get Joey. Supper's almost ready. I didn't think nothing. I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't think nothing of it until my son looked directly in the face. This is Jacob. I know who can be my daddy. He said, Joey can be my daddy.
Oh my God.
We both looked at each other. We didn't know what. He says, I says, yeah, okay, I'll go this way. So literally, we had no idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys already were in love and you guys didn't even know that you guys were in
Nope,
love yet.
we just kind of were just hanging out all the time. There was no sex involved. It was just, normal things, holding hands, no kisses, nothing, just enjoying each other's company, literally. Oh, yeah. So it was just like the thing, like he would say, hey, there's this movie. I just got this movie on DVD. So I said, okay, I'll make the popcorn. And so automatically I'd go in the kitchen, I'd make the popcorn, I'd come in, we'd sit down, we'd watch a movie, we'd snuggle, and that would be about it. So I didn't think nothing of it.
Wow.
Little brain dead there.
So did you date anybody else besides Joey after your first husband?
Nope.
You didn't date nobody?
No, not really.
No?
I'm not like that. I don't know. I don't date. I don't know. I find dating redundant.
Like go out to dinner, talk.
Yeah, it's go out to dinner, go out to talk, okay. And you got to remember, I'm also an empath. So the moment I shake their hand, I know what they want.
Right.
So it's like they either want something or they're trying to bullpucky me, and it's like, yep, okay, bye.
See you
I know
later.
at first handshake. Sometimes I know at first picture, so why bother?
Right.
That's the way I look
true.
at it, yeah.
That is true.
Yep.
So you're happy with the love that you've had and the love that's going to stay in your heart from that moment on. That's
Oh,
it.
yeah. Now I
Love.
got my dog, and I want to get him a doggy stroller.
I
I don't want him to burn his paws on the antifreeze. Okay, I know that sounds weird, but I don't want my dog to burn his paws on the antifreeze during the winter. Because their paws, the bottom of their pads can get burnt from the antifreeze on the snow.
the chemical of it.
Yes, it causes burn marks. And I don't want that. So I'd rather stroll him somewhere that I know that's safe to walk and then put him back in the stroller.
Okay.
Okay. But hey, guys, guess what we found?
What?
You guys know I'm having twin grandbabies, right? Guess what we found? A twin doggy stroller.
There is literally a twin doggy
We
stroller.
seen a twin doggy stroller.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's
Yeah.
actually such a thing as a twin doggy stroller.
Yeah, that was
is-
awesome.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That is just absolutely nuts. Oh my Lord in heaven. Yeah, it's true, Brenda. When you do go to the cemeteries, you do see that a lot.
Yeah.
People dying literally within like a month or 2 months time from one another. Like,
Yeah.
people can
Get him some boots.
Get him some boots, right?
Yeah, no, see, with me, I love my kids. And when Joey and I first decided we were going to be a couple, I told him straight up, my kids come first. If you ever do anything to hurt him, I'll throw you out the window. I wasn't kidding. Mm-hmm. He knew that. He respected that about me. My kids always come 1st.
That's
Always.
True. That's
Yeah.
true. And he put
But-
them first, too.
Oh, yeah, he did.
So, he did.
That was their dad. Yeah, definitely. But, yeah, I used to have little booties for my female dog. Of course, these pink booties would look very funny on my male
The
dog.
dogs don't know colors.
I will not put pink on my male dog.
Well, I mean, I put pink on Buddha for Halloween.
Yeah, I would rather put a leather
Buddha would
jacket
wear
on my
pink. He
dog.
loves me so much, he'd wear pink for me, no problem.
Yeah, I wouldn't
don't
put
know.
pink. I would not put pink on my dog. I can't. I can't do that.
How about getting him some red boots?
Yeah, I don't like red.
Okay. Obviously purple if you can find them.
Well, he kind of needs blue because, I think I'm his emotional support human, so blue's a very soothing color.
That's
I
true.
swear to God. I really do. I really, truly believe. You don't understand. I leave the house because I got to take my mother somewhere, right? And, yeah, I could, except I gave them away to another woman who didn't have anything for her dog. So I gave all the female coats away. When Holly was gone, I gave all the female doggy stuff away to her. So...
Oh, yeah, dye them. she
Yeah,
said.
yeah, I don't have them anymore, but I totally spaced out where the hell I was going because the dogs are... Guys, could you kill each other in the other room?
They are on a roll tonight. They swear, I swear. The energy in the house is nuts, though. Like, that pumpkin flew across the dining room
Yeah,
into my room.
yeah.
Nobody's there. It's just
Yeah.
me and Sue right here. That's it. The dogs
Oh.
couldn't touch it.
Thank you. That's what it was.
What?
Literally, I'll go somewhere and it's like I take my mother to the doctor's. And when I come back, if I don't immediately walk through the door and pet Otis, he's like...
Yeah. it's
literally
crazy.
hyperventilates.
It's crazy.
Literally, I swear to God, my dog has anxiety attacks.
I do think he does too. I really do.
He really does. And he gets so upset. And it's like, but I can't take him to that doctor's appointment. That's not my car.
I know. That's the only thing. It sucks.
No,
You
he's
know.
too funny.
And he's not like Booty. He has a hard time getting in and off the bus. So it makes like Booty loves the bus.
I got to pick him up and walk him on the bus. So I figured that would be the other thing. If I had the doggy stroller, then I could just wheel him on the bus.
Yeah.
Move the stroller off to the side. Because then he wouldn't be so... Because literally, if somebody sits next to me too close on the bus, he takes his nose and pushes them. Get away. Get away. He won't bark, but he pushes them away. Get out.
Get out of here.
Go.
Get out of here. Get away.
And then meanwhile, while he's doing that, he's doing this. I was like, okay, I wrap him in my coat.
You're
He's
such
funny.
a ding dong, Otis. You're such a ding dong, huh?
Yes, but he's my ding dong. So that was our social experiment of the day.
Yes. Because, I mean, love is like, love, like they say, love makes the world go round. But they don't differentiate what types of love there is
Right.
out there. And what kind of love it takes for things to go around. Like, if we didn't love what we did, it wouldn't be as joyful, obviously, if we didn't love it. We don't, you know what I mean? That's how it is.
Right.
Oh.
I'm sorry to hear about your uncle, honey.
Sorry about that, Kelly.
I hope he's better soon.
Now, love is like the subject for everything. People kill
Right.
for love. People are afraid of love.
Like Romeo and Juliet. Literally, kill for love, go against the odds.
Yep.
So, yeah, in a way, I do relate to that. I do relate to going against the odds and succeeding and then all that. Yes, I do. But I still say maybe somebody should have rewrote it so half of society doesn't have to, wherefore art thou, Julio? Nowadays it's like, yo, you here, bitch, or what?
Yo, ho, what's up? What's up? Want to get in my quackage? Hey.
I bet you I can make a rap with that.
Go, do it.
Okay, there we go. Everybody's going in town, need the crackers. Going in the store and we're getting our crackers. Yep, crackers, here we go again. Sorry, see? I'm famous!
That was fantastic. Fantastic. What anniversary is coming up for one of you? The day someone passed or birthday?
Me.
What is it? Joey's?
Oh, yeah.
Joey's anniversary?
My anniversary is coming
Your
up.
wedding anniversary?
Yeah.
Ah, because Becky Bennett called it. So it's her anniversary with Joey, her husband.
Yeah, and that's why he's around. I know that's him. My father
Whip
is.
shit around?
See, Joey will whip shit. My father throws it off the
so
top of
sorry.
the fridge.
My
Yeah.
condolences. My condolences.
I'm sorry,
Sally.
honey.
That's tough. And your uncle that's sick.
Yeah,
They're lucky to have you. They're very lucky to have you.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, I've tried love with the bad guy. I've tried love with the good guy. I've tried love with all kinds of people.
So now, what I choose to do is love my BFF,
her
love
too.
my family, and love my crystals and my doggy.
And we're happy. We're happy.
Yes, ecstatic.
You know what I mean? I don't understand why people have to think that love is not love unless it's in a relationship.
Yeah,
Like you can have love and it not be in a relationship love.
That's right.
It
That's
truly
right.
can be. You can love drinking your cup of coffee in the morning. Like you
Hi.
can really love that.
Yes, exactly, and that's
What's
what
the
it is.
question, Michael?
The thing is, yeah, it's definitely love of yourself is the most first important thing.
Heck yeah.
Yes,
Do you
Michael.
love yourselves? Do you actually love yourself?
And that's what it is. You have to love who you are and love what you do, and that's what makes life worth living.
That's right.
Okay, and
It's
that's what it's all about.
We're already going into like another stage of our lives
Yeah.
where now our kids are having kids. So we got grandbabies now. This is a whole other different stage.
Exactly,
in our
but
lives,
see,
you know?
that's you're contradicting yourself. Love does exist because you do love yourself and you do love your kids.
Mm-hmm. Do you ladies what?
Okay, this not a dating site, sweetheart. So you
Yeah.
definitely got the wrong place.
But love is okay in every form
Okay,
and shape. That's all I
yeah,
want
it doesn't.
You to know.
You know, it really doesn't matter.
But we're not in love with any bisexual man at the moment.
This is not a dating site, though.
No. But Michael, if this means you're coming out of the closet and telling us that you're a bisexual male, good for you, guy.
Yeah.
Get out of that closet.
Hey, wait, let's give him some applause too.
Yes.
Let's
Come
give
out
him
of
some
that broom
applause.
closet of yours.
There you go.
Tell everybody how bisexual you are. Good for you, Michael. You be that bisexual male you are. Okay? Good for you. Yes. Good for you. You can just say it and come out. I am a bisexual man. That's okay. We love you anyways. Good
Yeah,
for you.
literally, it's
Good for you.
and that's what it is. It's dealing with, and that's the trick is dealing with love. Where's the greatest love? Where is
Where do you
where?
put your energy?
Yeah, and so that's what it is. You know,
Mm-hmm.
me myself being the widow, and now it's like, where do I put that energy? I always find something to put the love energy into, which is why the network, the crystals, and then I love rapping, and
See?
I don't mean what I was doing horsing around. I meant the crystals.
Like wrapping the crystals, guys. What she means, wire wrapping.
Yeah, wire rapping, not that type of rapping. Yeah, by half the time my son's out there, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to my room. I can't understand a word
I mean,
they're
I like
talking
rap,
about.
but I don't like this new mumble rap.
Wait,
It's a-
I can do that. Yeah.
Right? And it's
What?
it's a thing. It's like it's literally a thing. It's literally called mumble rap.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
I don't get it. I don't.
I don't get it either.
It makes no sense.
You know, it's like if you can't hear the words, what's the point?
Can't understand what the heck they're trying to even say. What are they
Yeah.
even trying? What kind of message are they even getting out there?
Yeah, it's very strange.
It's really very strange. This
very
whole mumble
strange.
rap phenomenon makes
Oh, definitely
really no
is.
sense to me.
Yeah, it
Why
is.
would you listen to music that made no sense?
Yeah, I don't know.
It don't make any
Maybe
sense.
they just go by the beat. But then again, maybe our parents were having this conversation when they first heard our music.
That's probably true. That is probably true. They
Yeah.
were probably thinking that, we 80s rock in the 80s hair bands.
80s hair bands. That was my thing.
Oh my
You know,
god.
Def
Like,
Leppard, like
all we
Zeppelin.
wanted to buy with our allowances was Aquanet hairspray. I remember.
Ozzy!
I remember that. Yes, Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Remember grabbing the bat's head and tearing its head off and being
the
hardcore.
real story about that
Uh-huh.
is the bat. He didn't know the bat was real, so he just went with it.
Oh,
It was supposed to be a fake bat.
God. And he bit the head off.
Yeah, so he went with it. So they yelled at him. So when he was in the office, he grabbed a bird and bit the head off.
There you go. Why not? Bite the
Yeah,
head
he's
out.
not
He's
supposed
not
to hang.
discriminating.
Nah, if he did one, he could do another.
But I mean, see, but we say, like Kelly says, love doesn't exist. But why was these stories written so tragically about love? To bring
Right.
love to the forefront. Okay, so why are there such tragic love stories out there?
And I think the whole point of this, Alice Cooper, yeah. Do you know that Alice Cooper has an extremely high IQ?
Does he really?
Yes.
He's a lot smarter than he
very
looks.
high IQ, believe it or not.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
his songs are very, very advanced songs. For that,
Right.
for his
No, I
age.
mean IQ, physically IQ, literally.
Wow.
This guy could talk you in circles. Yep.
Wow. See how amazing though?
Yep.
Amazing. And that's another thing you bring up. Those musicians loved their music. They
Exactly.
loved to write their
Yeah.
lyrics, write the sounds, the music, everything.
Literally.
That's where they directed their passion. And that's where they directed their love. That's why there was such great storytelling with every
And that's
single song
what
back
I
then.
think changed, because back in the 80s with the hair band, it wasn't buy this song, buy that song, let's put it together. They actually wrote about themselves, their own lives, their stories.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I liked about the 80s. And then somewhere in the 90s, we kind of lost it, because now it's like this one wrote the song, she sings, she made famous. And okay, but you're not telling a story.
Right.
So very, very few people do tell kind of their own stories when they're singing.
Through music.
And yes, not everybody's a writer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get that. And not everybody can write a song. I get that. And some people do have really good voices, and I do understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's part of the story I missed.
That is the
Yeah.
missing part. It is the missing piece of not having that story to go with the song. What you picture in your head about what's happening.
Exactly.
That activates your imagination. It gets your juices flowing. Those creative, warm feelings that you feel when you're
Yep.
creating something. That gives people in your brain that same dose of dopamine of falling in love. Believe it or not.
Exactly.
Believe it or not.
Yep.
And that's what we're really looking for, is that chemical dopamine that comes in our heads, comes in our brains, and says, "Wow, I love that. Wow,
Yeah.
I love him. Oh my God, I love her. I love that feeling is a chemical feeling."
That's right. It's a chemical reaction.
And you can put that love towards other things.
Yep.
But everybody should have a love. But first off, it has to be with loving yourself first.
Exactly.
Always love yourself first.
That's right.
That's the bottom line. Okay, that's the bottom line of our social experiment is talking about love, breaking love down.
That's right.
Break it down to what? What are we breaking love down to be? Where is the
That
most...
you don't necessarily look, everybody, relationships are good, but you don't necessarily have to go out in the search for relationship to find your greatest love.
Right.
You can find your greatest love in many other places.
Exactly.
Okay, and I think that's the point of tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, coming from experience, yes, I do have a labor of love for the network that I built, for the crystals that Michelle and I started, for, you know, all the things that I do, my kids, my grandkids. But yes, I do put genuine passion into everything I do.
Yeah, because
And-
you took
yeah.
your love that you would be able to share
Right.
on Joey into taking that love that's still the same dopamine feeling of love.
Exactly.
And you put it towards what you love to do. And that's
That's right.
what gives you that fuzzy, warm feeling
Yep.
that people get when you're in love. Right?
Yep. That's
That's
exactly
the
what
feeling
it is.
that goes away eventually once you're actually in a relationship, right? Isn't that it? That is the feeling that goes
Oh,
poof,
God, that was one of those comedians you were listening to,
right?
wasn't it?
Oh
Yeah.
my God. But it's true. That's
Yep.
exactly what happens. It's literally down to a chemical process in the brain. So instead of saying to somebody, "Oh, you're single. Oh, I feel so bad for you. I'm so sorry that you're single. Oh, you'll find the right one someday." You know how many times people say that? Oh,
Not
don't
to me.
worry, you'll find your someone for you someday.
Now I get other questions we're not discussing on air. So.
But we're not. But you're not. They make you think that you're not complete unless you're in love.
Yeah, but see, I feel complete, and that's the thing. I am complete.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I am very complete right
So
now.
you guys out there listening, what do you need to do to make your life feel like you're complete? And I don't mean go out and go and speed date for somebody. Okay? Fine. Do you love to cook? Do you love to write? Do you love to I don't know, make puzzles? Do you craft? Are you a scrapper? Whatever the heck it is.
Exactly.
Whatever it is, you need to have some type of way to use that chemical imbalance you have. Because love breaks down to being a chemical imbalance. And take that dopamine and direct it towards something else. Direct it towards... I mean, these are the times in our lives, like we're in that age group where people find new passions and find old things, or they rediscover old things. Like she picked up the guitar. That could have been the start and the rediscovery of your passion for playing guitar.
It could have been. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
You were feeling that dopamine, but you weren't feeling the dopamine for the book.
No.
But you felt the dopamine enough to pick up the guitar.
I was just trying to change the subject.
Well, it works, didn't it? No, but you did.
Yeah.
I could see you were literally strumming away.
Oh, definitely jack of all trades, master of none.
Yes.
Well, except Reiki. I am a Reiki master teacher, technically, so yeah.
And her being an empath, so she experiences feelings in a whole other different way than
Right.
the rest of us that are not empaths. She totally does. So I give her that feeling. It's a lot of chemical feeling when you're around somebody who thinks they're like in love with somebody.
And they're not.
They're not. Look at these teenage kids.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm going to die without her. I'm going to die. I love her so much. I can't live or breathe.
Yes, and see, and that's it. Nowadays, people are waiting longer to get into a serious relationship. When back then, it was like she's an old maid at 17.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
She hasn't even begun to live yet. So.
I was considered an old maid at 19 years old. I'm not kidding. I had cousins of mine who were arranged marriage at 15 years old.
Wow.
I used to pick her up in my mom's minivan and drive her to school. She was a married woman at 15 years old.
Damn.
Okay? So, but back then, we were literally pistoned and drilled into our heads that you had to be in a relationship. You had to be engaged or married to somebody. Like, there was something wrong with you if you were not with somebody.
Right.
So much so that they literally, the parents went to the old country, found this guy, brought the daughter to City Hall, said, here you go, marry them to, and that was it. She didn't know who it was she was marrying. Parents picked out who it was.
Wow.
Had no idea, nothing. She went to school that day. She got out of school early that day, and they brought her to City Hall, signed the papers, and married her off.
Wow.
15 years old.
Where'd she live?
The parents' second floor. Her and the new husband.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. She was 15.
And when was this? The 80s?
This was 91, 92.
Holy Toledo.
Yeah. Still in the early 90s, there was still such a thing as arranged marriage.
Wow.
I didn't get married until 95. I graduated high school in 94.
85, 84, 84.
I was 1994. By 95, I was already married. I was 19 for maybe a month and a half before I was married off. And at that age, because I had like a 5-year like engagement period, and it took that long.
Wow.
But I think back and I think, I must have been stalling. You know, and I know I was. I know that I was. But then the dreaded day came. And I was lucky to be getting married off at 19. That was already considered late. We were pushed and pushed and pushed.
Is who still married?
No, my cousin that did marry, they're not. They were married. Put it this way, it was pathetic. They had a 25-year reunion. She was still young.
Right.
So after the 25 years of being married to him, she finally stood up to him and her parents and left.
Wow.
Finally. But they were married for over 25 years.
Wow.
They never had children. There was none of that going on.
Oh, boy.
Never had a child. Never had nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. Okay? Her husband, the one that they'd flown over, was so retarded that he was doing a landscaping job and he stuck his hands up an actual functioning lawnmower and chopped all his fingers off one hand.
Wow.
So now she's stuck with a husband that's disabled.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being with a disabled man.
He had no fingers.
Yeah, so.
So, but then that was
Yeah.
a big tragedy, and she was still there for him. This was a man she only met that day.
Yeah.
There was no courting period, or not even like a phone call.
Yeah.
The parents did it all.
Wow.
The parents did all of it. And so, yeah, she stuck it out for her family in over 25 plus years and then finally left. And till she never got remarried again till this day. She left him. She's been gone from him for a long time.
Huh.
But it was not easy because we were getting pushed to have completely different ideals about what love was. Love was find a man, get married, have kids. That was love. Love, hurry up, find a man. Didn't matter who it was. The first man you brought home had to be the first one you married. I'm not kidding. If you were starting to bring strings of men home, you were a whore. You were a whore. You brought one man and one man only home. And if you brought that man home, you sure as hell better marry them. There was no doubt. And that's how our parents put it all out to us. So I was under an age umbrella, I want to say.
Yeah.
There was a lot of us cousins all around the same age at the same time. Females.
Yeah.
Okay? So this was happening to all of us at that time. Literally all of us. I have a cousin of mine who got pregnant. Thought she was only like 4 months pregnant. The next day, because she finally tells her mother and father she tells them she's 4 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay? So right away, well, you're getting married. Shotgun wedding. They went to back in the day, you had to go to the hospital to get blood work done to get married.
Right.
So she goes to the hospital to get her blood work done to get married.
Right.
At City Hall the next day, her water breaks.
Oh my God.
She didn't even know. She was already 9 months pregnant.
Wow.
That's how ignorant things were. She had the baby right there and then in the hospital.
Wow.
Yep, bouncing baby boy. Then got married after that.
Wow.
Which that was the big horror. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God. Because they were already forcing her to get married because she was pregnant. Now she had a baby. Surprise. The baby just, surprise. Her water broke right there in the hospital while they were doing her blood work. Poof.
Wow.
Yeah, my mother was with her and brought her there, her and him. And she ended up being the godmother of the wedding, her and my dad. And she was there she helped deliver the baby. She literally helped her deliver the baby.
Wow.
At 19.
Wow.
And she was already considered, she was one of the older in that umbrella of ladies that were getting married. She was one of the older ones at 19. She was considered an older one.
Huh.
I was like 15. I was considered like prime marriage realty. You know what I'm saying?
15?
At 15.
No way.
I got sent to Portugal when I was 12 to find a husband. I am not kidding. You can ask any of my family members. Hey,
Yeah.
come on here anytime. I'm
She
telling you the
didn't
truth.
come back with one.
I fought so hard not to come back with any of those men. I really didn't. I really just came here and I was still getting sobby letters sent from people that met me there and I was like, no, I'm going to fight this. I wanted to go to college. I wanted to go to business school. I wanted,
Right.
there was things I wanted to do and I was running out of time to do these things because I was running out of time, period. They had already found who they wanted me to marry at 15. So I was engaged to be married my freshman year in high school.
Wow.
Freshman year. I didn't even have a car license yet and I was already engaged to be married.
Damn.
It was that fast. That's how it was.
Wow.
And I kept stretching it out and stretching it out and stretching it out. And it still took we were engaged for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So by the time it came to the wedding, it was like the big wedding of the year finally, you know what I mean? Because it was like, oh God, I had probably been to 25 weddings. I was bridesmaids and I don't know how many of them.
Yeah.
I lost count how many I was actually. And that's what it was. It was you were nothing unless you had a man.
Oh,
Unless
God.
a man loved you and you were in a relationship and you better be engaged. Or for any of the family members are seeing this person, they better be engaged. I hear something.
Can
You hear that?
Yeah, can you finish this? Just keep talking.
Yeah.
I got this.
So it was literally that bad. It was literally that bad. So by the time my wedding came, it was like the biggest wedding of the year. And it was awful. It was awful. I didn't want to get married. My marriage lasted 21 years. I put up with all of it for 21 years. Marriage was not good. Not good at all. It was not good. It was awful. He was a drunk. You know, he was abusive. I went through the whole gamut of it, and I was supposed to just be quiet and be a good little Portuguese wife, cook and clean for my family, slave after everybody, be the slave. And I just had enough. I finally got my own cojones, my own balls to leave his ass. And that's what I did. But when I left him, I literally had gone to counseling for a whole year on my lunch breaks. Nobody knew I was going to counseling to get the strength up to leave my marriage.
Well, that's okay. Now she's got half of a radio show.
Yep.
She's got half of a crystal business.
That's right.
And she lives in peace and harmony with her BFF that always has coffee ready in the morning.
And I love my life. And I love my life. I did not love being forced to love.
Oh,
okay?
Somebody just walked by there.
Oh.
Somebody's around today.
Yeah, there is spirit activity here today. But it wasn't the love. Like, I love my life now. I did not love my life then. I did not love my marriage. I did not love my husband.
No.
I didn't. He was just, it was not even a choice at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just how it was. At 15 years old, I was already engaged to be married. Fought it off until I turned 19. Truly. I had gone sent to Portugal when I was 12 to find a man. I still put them off.
Wow.
I couldn't have been more, off-putting.
Damn.
But at the same time, that was the day in the era that we lived in. It was, you had to be...
But it wasn't. It was the way that you were raised, because it was a different era for me.
Yeah.
Totally different.
What happened when you started going out dating? How did that all happen? Because I wasn't allowed to date.
Well,
I was like, oh, here's the man, meet the man, I'm here, hi.
I mean, my father said, well, you're not taking my daughter out in those ripped jeans. Bring the motorcycle home and get a frickin' car. I'll chop it off with a hatchet. So, yeah, that was always fun.
So he couldn't pick you up in a motorcycle. But did you guys take the car to where the motorcycle was?
It was different. My father just pulled no punches, and he was short for men. I guess he would be considered short, but just don't piss him off. Just don't ever piss him off. Yeah.
It's tough though. I didn't have that, and you know what I mean. And then I thought, oh, I'll never do this to my daughter. I will never do this to my daughter.
Yeah.
She on her own meets him. Falls in love with him. It's the first everything. She didn't date nobody else. She doesn't know what a relationship is with anybody else. And she's with that same exact person. Huh. The total opposite of what I would have hoped for my own kids.
Wow. Yeah.
But she and CJ are together and been together since day one. But again, I can't. They're happy together. When they're not happy together, then I'll have an issue. But they're happy together.
Yeah.
So... But I still feel like my daughter might have missed out. Like, she didn't get to go dating like other kids. She didn't, like other young women.
Maybe she didn't want to.
She had no desire once she got into the relationship with CJ. That was it. That was the be-all, done-all of everything. But I would have never forced her to be in a relationship or to love.
Yeah, there's somebody arguing out there. All right, guys. We seem to be having a strange night.
Yeah, we are.
So, it's okay. We're going to we only got 7 minutes left to the show. So I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the social experiment. We'll see you here Sunday.
Thanks for tuning in to Awakening the Unknown with Susan Swanbeck and Michelle Sullivan here on the A2U Network. For more information on upcoming shows and appearances, be sure to follow us on Facebook and on the web at awakeningtheunknown.wixsite.com. Voiceover work done by